here. In this assets folder, we're going to create a new folder. We're going to call it images. Let me just move this out of the way for a second and show you on our desktop we have our folder with, now we have a folder with our project name in there because when we created our project it created this folder for us. And there's that assets folder I was just showing you inside of Unity, and you can see there's a folder called scenes and settings. Let's go back into Unity, and there's the scenes and settings. Let's control click in here and create a new folder. We'll call this folder images. Okay, and some people like to call it art or something else like that. But now that we've created this folder, let's take a look back in here, and there's that folder. You could open it up. There's nothing in there. Okay, and now let's do this. I'm going to open the folder up from the desktop. I'm going to show you two different ways to get images into your game. On my desktop, I have a couple of folders in here. I have a couple of images on the desktop. I'm going to drag this one here. I called it 7 Wonders. I moved it in there. Now let's see what it looks like in Unity. Back in Unity, we have the images folder now has that image in there. Okay, you can see when I select it, it says it's a sprite. That's the texture type it is. Okay, now another way, let's see what happens if I take this image from the desktop and drag it directly into Unity. You can see a little plus sign. That's yet another way to put images into Unity. Okay. So now that we're here, we have two images in there. Let's go back to the assets folder, and we could take a look at that, drag it on there. Let's see what it does. It created when I dragged that on there, it created what's known as a game object with a sprite renderer on it. But I'm going to go ahead and control click and delete that, and we'll do that this way. I want to show you how to do this. We're going to go ahead and well, there's a few different things I want to show you. For starters, we can go create an empty, and we could say create or add a sprite renderer to it. Sprite renderer. And then in this area right here, we can drag in the image we want. Okay, and then you'll notice the position of our game object. The X coordinate, let's make it right in the middle, 0, 0. Okay. If I take this tool, I can move things around and stuff like that. But there's another way we could do this as well. Okay, because let's just say our screen changes size, something like that. I don't know. There's just another way that I want to show you how to do this. And we could set this image in here. In this way, you could label this, or we could, I'm going to call this background, or we can put it in as what's known as a UI element. Let's show you that because we are going to do that and actually add a button. So I'm going to delete this. Okay, and then we could right click in here and say add a UI image. It's a different way of adding this image, and what it does, it's going to add what's something known as a canvas. And you'll see this like image source here. Now we can drag that into there. And this canvas is kind of like a window over top of our entire game. And we're going to say scale with the screen size. And in our image, let's click this here and let's stretch it all the way. By holding Option, you could stretch the image all the way across your screen. Now, that's a totally different way of adding an image into this game, but the reason why we put it in the canvas is no matter what size we change our screen, it'll just stretch with it. And you may or may not like that because you can see how it's kind of distorting things. Okay? But that's just two different ways of adding that in there, and I just want you to know the different ways of doing that. You could move these things around and align things differently and stuff. Let's go ahead and control click and delete this whole thing, the canvas and everything. And we will go ahead and just drag this back onto the stage now. Leave it here, and we'll just play around with it from this point and see how we like that. Let's see where the camera is. If I double click the camera, you can see the position of the camera is right there, and it's looking at this sprite just sitting on the stage. Or sitting, I said the stage, that's from Adobe Animate. But you have this in the scene. Okay, for now, for turning this in, I want to see that you have an assets folder with images in it. Okay, this image should be something to do with you. Maybe it's a place like this. I'm just imagining this are places I want to go. Maybe it says about things you did last summer. Maybe it's your favorite sports teams or colleges you want to go to. But this first scene should be all about you. And then let's just take a screenshot of this, and that'll just show evidence that you've got the images folder set up correctly. Just have your images showing like this, and go ahead and submit that. So go ahead and have fun exploring with that. And when the next step, I'll show you how to overlay a button, and then we will decide then how we want to handle our image for the background. Okay? Have fun setting this up. Have fun.